All right, now it's time for a new segment on the KRON 4 Morning News. It's called the Job Connection. So let's go to Vicki Liviakis with more.
Hey, good morning, Daria. All right, you've lost your job. You're at risk of losing your car, maybe even your home, but not your hope. This morning on KRON 4 Job Connections, we're here to help. With me this morning, Gladys Stone, Fred Whelan of Whelan Stone. They are recruiters and job coaches here in San Francisco, so let's just jump right into it. SOS, I've lost my job. What do I do?
First thing to do is don't panic. You know, that
it's easier said than done.
Easier said than done. It's human nature for people to worry. How am I ever going to find another job in this tough economic times?
Especially now. And people who haven't lost their jobs are in fear of losing them.
Absolutely,
Gladys?
and nobody's immune. I mean, we know people that have worked for the same company for 18, 19 years and all of a sudden find themselves without a position. The thing to do is to focus on what you can control, and that will help your stress level go down, and that would be something like putting together an action plan to get that next job.
Okay,
because there are jobs out there.
Okay, that's the other thing.
Yes.
We want to dispel the myth here. There's a lot of doom and gloom. Anybody that's been watching the news,
yes,
we hear about it. Unemployment rates are starting to spike. Layoffs, massive layoffs, but
that's right.
There are jobs. Where are their jobs?
There are companies that are hiring. For example, the auto aftermarket is very strong because people are hanging on to their cars for a lot longer. So they're spending more money to keep their cars running.
Okay. So AutoZone, for example.
Okay, they're hiring.
Safeway's hiring. Food companies like Diamond Foods and Del Monte are hiring. So there's still many companies out there hiring. You just need to find those companies and start applying to them.
Okay, we rolled some graphics before. Let's go ahead and bring those back up again because you have an action plan. Don't panic, okay? Create a compelling resume. That's a big deal.
Very important.
We ran a show last week and the recruiters were hearing the hundreds of people. A lot of them didn't even have a resume.
Got to have a resume.
Okay, 1 to 2 pages?
2 pages is fine. You don't want to go over that. It has to be, you have to make it inviting to read. You don't want to try to cram too much stuff in a 2-page resume. So make it clean.
Don't lie.
Never do that.
Never lie. And the important thing is focus on your accomplishments. A lot of people spend time talking about responsibilities, but not what they've actually accomplished on the job. And that's the most compelling thing a potential hiring manager can see.
Do your homework, right? I
Yes.
mean, you say target what company you want to work for.
Make a list of the companies you want to work for. Then what you want to do is find out in those companies who would be your potential boss. You send that person a very targeted email letting them know why you want to work in that company and what value you can bring to that organization. Let a week go by and then follow up with a phone call.
Follow-up's important.
Yes.
Okay, then work your network. What's a good network? I mean, there are social networking sites. There are... What do you recommend?
We all know people who are involved in our industries and other industries, and sometimes we let those networks lay fallow and atrophy. The best advice we can give people is to keep those networks fresh, but particularly when you're out of a job, make it a point to reconnect by phone, by email, but most importantly in person. Try and have coffee with that person. Talk to them about what's going on in their job, in their industry, and they may not have a job in their company for you, but you'll certainly be top of mind.
But they might know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody.
They may have a colleague who has a job.
You guys are out with a book, and this is a rush to press. I mean, this is just goal,
yes,
right?
We're very excited about that.
30-day game plan for business and career
It's
success.
an outgrowth of our coaching business. Fred and I are very excited about helping people reach their goals. And this book goal, the exciting part is that it's all about the approach you take. And any goal, you can accomplish any goal. It doesn't matter what it is. Our book goal is all about action, taking action from day one. And we keep you motivated until you eventually reach that goal.
Okay. Yeah.
And importantly, it's got a 30-day goal track, which keeps people motivated from the day that they start. So they're focused on their goal, and we keep them feeling very excited about going after it.
So time is of the essence.
It is.
And again, I want to hearken to preventive or anticipatory. I mean, there are folks out there who haven't lost their jobs, but they're seeing people pink slipped in their company.
That's
is anybody immune?
No one is immune, and we know people who have been laid off from a job that they've been in for 18 or 19 years with the same company. So the most important thing they can do is to stay active.
Bring your A game to work. This is not the time to slack off. And this is not the time to hunker down. A lot of people think, well, in this time I shouldn't try to innovate or bring any new ideas up to my boss. No, that's
bad strategy,
not a good strategy.
So,
because companies are always looking for ways to grow a business, and especially in a down market.
And the more visible you can be within the company, the less likely you're going to be to be let go.
All right. So the question.
Yes.
What do you do next? You put it together a good resume,
Yes.
and again, we're going to provide all these tips on the website as well. So obviously we can't do it right here on the spot. Once you get your foot in the door, the next is to put your best foot forward. Fred and Gladys are going to come back with tips on how to dress for success, how to ace that interview when we come back. So don't go away. We'll have more job tips to come on KRON 4 Morning News, Job Connections, plus a look at the wet weather and slick roads when we come back.